Maul or Nothing.
Hello and welcome to the brand new season of Maul or Nothing, Season 2 with Ryan and Max. We are back, bigger, better, bolder, banterier, all of those things. Yeah, just making up words. How are we doing, boys? Missed you guys.
Oh my goodness. We're back together. The band is back together. I'm so happy. I'm happy we're back together, boys. I'm happy we're here together. Me and Max have seen each other recently. We'll get onto that.
Yeah, that was very.
We're going to find out what the
splendid weekend, but yes,
fuck Mark is up to. But how bloody good! I've missed you, boys. I have missed you.
It has been too long. God, why was it so long, Roy?
Max, did you? Max, at one point, did you panic that this was?
I was like, nah, he's had enough. He doesn't want to do it anymore. Mark's fucked off to Singapore, living off his wife. You couldn't be asked because you've got loads of children. You're out of the game now. Got a burgeoning media career. And I was like, yeah, fair play.
Maybe it was fun. For those listening that don't know what happens in our group chat, well, it went pretty quiet at one point because we were trying to plan, weren't we, Mark? We were planning behind the scenes and we thought there's no point stressing Max out. He's in pre-season. We'll just get on with it. And we gave him exactly what he gives us, a silent treatment, nothing, and I kept it so long until the point where he just put, boys, when are we back doing the pod? And you could tell the panic in his voice. He thought it was over.
Do we still have a pod? Brackets I. Do I still have a pod? Like he'd somehow been edged out of the podcast.
Do we?
As if we would trade you out. You are the podcast, Max Lahif. We fucking love you. Oh, boys. Well, I know what you're going to start with, Mark, but no one wants to hear about us. We want to know, where are you? And what you do, because every time I phone this fucker Max, he says I'm just down by one of his pools. He's got more than one pool. How posh is that? What time is it there? What time is it there first?
It's midnight, half past.
Well, get used to it, mate. It's not our fault you moved to the other side of the fucking world.
No.
And how many swimming pools have you got?
No, there are. I think there are. This is not that important, but there are, I think, 4 or 5 downstairs. Yeah, so, yeah. 4
or 5.
I mean, there's one big one, and then around and stuff.
It's a couple of oceans downstairs, you know.
It's nice. You're coming to see it, guys. You are coming to see it.
Yeah, you keep saying that, but and he's like, listen, just come out with the family. I'm not just going to rock up and like Louise go off a nut if I just turned up with all 4 kids. Bex, they'd just be absolute carnage. But I suppose you've obviously got somewhere big enough for all of us to come and stay then.
There's plenty of space. The kids' new school, one of the rugby coaches is a big fan. Him and his whole family, big fan of the show.
He's already getting a shout out. Look at him. Look at what Mark is doing. He's giving teachers. I'm trying to
get you guys a free out to Singapore.
Very good.
Come and do a skills session, guys. Yeah, a bit of coaching.
Oh, mate. I'll tell you what, bargain bin Pano just went through the roof. The stock is up. Mark is now living in Singapore, 5 swimming pools, an absolute mansion of a apartment.
But commuting to Manchester, boys. Commuting to Manchester. But more importantly, let's move off what I'm doing. I mean, we're not. There's a little. We're teasing something. Are we teasing anything, Ryan? Nothing to tease right now.
No, nothing to tease.
Nothing to tease. There could be some things happening. Who knows? I'm just trying.
No. Let's not cause too many rumours. Last time I did that was in Béziers. Went down to Béziers, obviously pretty much signed on a fag packet. And it was big Jim Hamilton that let the cat out of the bag there, and that came back to bite me in the arse. There might have been some conversation somewhere, but there is absolutely nothing close to being done. There might have been a conversation somewhere. Max knows all about it. You know all about it.
Is it progressing? Let's ask that.
From when we last spoke, it is going downhill very rapidly.
Mate,
to the point where there is radio silence.
When we were, you were sketching hard as well in that traffic for no good reason. For no good reason. But I did go and have suddenly like this 3 days of like, I'm gonna have to get fit again.
So, Max, I went and did a watt bike, 10K.
How'd you go?
Mate, 12 minutes 15. I absolutely destroyed it because I put myself in a hole. I was like, this is it. You're going to kill this. 10K in 12 minutes 15. That's pretty good, isn't it?
That's very good. I think you've like inherently just one of those white battlers, aren't you? You're just like one of those horrible blokes that just
can get in there and
like
just
live
go
in
down.
a dark place, and it's all good.
Yeah, well, that's it. I did a couple of MAS runs. Back was off the bone after we were lifting rocks with the Staltman brothers. So myself and Max have been reunited, and we could feel and touch each other. His first trip to Scotland. Oh no, Glasgow.
Come on,
I've been
come on.
Like first
Maxie,
trip.
how was it, mate?
Oh, it's a majestic country. First up, straight to Loch Lomond for a dip, and it was just. It's an inspiring place. Like the natural beauty is very intimidating, but like in a nice way. It just overwhelms you. You just suck it in through the pores. It was delicious. We like throwing stones around the pond.
So we were going up to lift. We weren't really meant to be lifting too much because Max is in training, so we weren't going to hurt his back. But we started off by finding giant fucking rocks in Loch Lomond. And there's us two idiots trying to find the biggest rock to pick up in the loch, which is obviously easy because it's underwater. But then we set on our way up to Inverness, didn't we, Max? What a beautiful drive. We were in go-kart mode.
Mate, those lay-bys. You did not use a single one of those country roads.
So there's
full Mario Kart. Yeah,
so there's these little pullover sections, Mark, obviously, which are for people to pull in to let people pass. I'm like, what's that bloke doing? Stopped on the side of the road, straight round him towards oncoming traffic. Max and Will, the videographer, are like, we're going to die. This is it. It's all over before it started. Oh, but it was good, Max. I was. Do you know what? I secretly loved just bringing you to Glasgow and showing you the west coast of Scotland.
It was, mate. I was honoured, and we had a lovely Indian as well at Inverness. Had a little, and then you had one of yours kind of weird non-alcoholic beverages that was tasted of cat piss, but every other thing was glorious.
And Max, for the record, were you surprised at my man strength?
I actually was. Like,
really?
The power of the dad strength just accumulated. Like 4 children.
But all I got was because you know, a couple of voice notes from Ryan being like, "Oh, there's something brewing, like something bubbling." I may have to go on Saturday to this place and go and do like a fitness test. So I like video called him straight away, being like, "I want to get more news," and he's literally like an old man on the floor, right in this house, just being like, "I can't move because I tried to pick up a stone."
Yeah, were you battling the next day?
Oh, mate, it was Sunday I was battling already because it was a 6-hour car journey, then picking up 100-kilo Atlas stones, 100-kilo sandbags that this bloke loves, throwing 65-kilo circus dumbbells onto a shoulder. Mate, my neck was ruined. The boys had 120-kilo dumbbells, Mark.
Yeah, the grip on them is like slightly thicker than what you get in a conventional gym. So like your grip is just like handicapped massively.
A lot thicker than what's down your pants, Mark. Put it that way.
Just perfect segue with no reasoning. Brilliant. Max.
Hold on, but Max, it was amazing, wasn't it?
Oh, mate, it was so cool. And they were lovely, lovely, lovely chaps, weren't they? Well, so accommodating. Mate, it was class. It was a class day. I was little like Wonderland. It was like a toy shop, their gym. So much cool stuff. There was like Viking Press. There was the record Atlas stone there, just sitting there. I was just like, yeah, one day.
Can you imagine how excited he was? Honestly, it was genuinely like a kid at Christmas. Like he couldn't believe himself. So that episode is coming. We're editing. We're getting some sign off bits and bobs, but keep your eyes peeled for that one. That's going to be a special one. But I've never seen a man so giddy in all my life.
Like big.
But do the brothers make Max look small? Because in the social media stuff, it was like their little child had come along and they were, don't pick that up, you'll hurt yourself, boy.
Yeah. No, it's actually funny. It's like the humans have speciated. Do you know what I mean? They're not really Homo sapiens anymore. They're like Homo sapi huge. They're monsters. The way that Luke would pick up this dumbbell like it was just like a candy bar. It was shocking how hard it was to pick up, and then he's just like, yeah. throw that in the corner. And then Tom's standing there like an experiment. He is ginormous, like a bear.
He's
Genuine.
185 kilos, Mark. That's how heavy he is.
World's strongest man. Do you remember? It's just bananas if you think about it.
Let's not give too much more away because that is another episode. But yeah, they were incredible. We played a bit of golf with them as well because we're golf wankers now. But there was at one point where I thought there was a point where I thought Max was going to ruin the weekend, and that was when we had to race to pick up an Atlas-stone, pick up the stupid sandbag which nearly broke my neck. And then what else did we have to do? We had to pick something else up. What was it?
No, it was two Atlas stones and the sandbag. Yeah.
And so they timed us, and my time was pretty good. I'm not going to give too much away. Max's time was fucking ridiculous. And then Tom went, the world's strongest man, 3-time world's strongest man. And I genuinely was like, oh God, what if Max beats him and then he kicks off and he's going to fucking just turn into the Hulk and start smashing bits? I was like, oh no, what have you done, Max?
Yeah.
And it was close. It was close. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. More about pre-season then. Max, how's it been?
Oh, it's finished, gentlemen. It is over. Newcastle away this Friday. Max is through pre-season 16. It's been god-awful. I hated every second of it. But we've got through it once more. Once again, they go quicker and quicker. You know, as you get older, your sort of comprehension of time, your perception of it speeds up, which is both sort of good and bad. It's almost, yeah, but anyway, that's another kind of segment. But yeah, pre-season's been great. It's been fantastic, feeling glorious. I picked up like 3 dings in that game against Connor on last Friday. Like just hit pointer, bloody thoracospasm. Man, it's all mental. But we'll be ready to go. Kingston Park, Friday night, 7:45.
100-0. 100-0.
No, but you know what? No, right. Do not put that blasphemous victory on the pod. It's first game syndrome. Our boy Dimes is down there. Wheeler deal. He's going to get the boys right. If he can't do it, no one can turn Newcastle around. As quoted famously. That's some great words. What a statesman. I love the bloke. I'm not going to lie. I just love his shamelessness.
You're right though. It was out there this week. If I can't do it, no one can. You're like,
First game syndrome of the season. You got to throw the form books out the window. You know what I'm saying, right? You got to throw it out.
Nah, boy, they didn't win a game last season. I'm throwing it out there. I don't think they'll win a game this season. 100-0 Bristol Bears versus Newcastle.
Okay, well, I did not say a single one of those syllables. So onwards.
Any records broken in pre-season, Max? I
think Mom's got close to breaking a Bronco, but I think he might have stepped a little bit short on a couple of reps. So it's not officially counted. But Kieran Marmion, the freak, the greyhound, my God, got a sort of set of lungs on him like a racehorse. Bloke can run for days. Any other records? Not really, no. I managed to get back to about a PB in the 40-meter sprints. Not that you ever really run 40 meters as a tired prop. What else do they do? Any other cool?
Okay, no, that's a bit ballsy. Going for a record 40-meter sprint.
Oh man, if you don't use it, you lose it. You know what I'm saying, right? The minute you don't fancy sprints, don't fancy lifting heavy anymore. Next minute, season goes by, you've done that for a while, and suddenly you're walking around like R2-D2. It's no good, mate. It's no good.
When said thing was nearly happening, I obviously had to go and sort of pick up a bit of pace. When it's fucking 16 months. 16 months since I've sort of opened these old limbs up.
The strings screaming in protest, were they? What are you doing to us?
Yeah, the Andy Slack wasn't great the next day. Let's just put it that way.
Maxie, what's your 40-meter PB?
Oh, it was like 5.23 or something. 5.22, yeah, something like that. So I'll take that. Happy days. At the tender age of 34 years.
Give yourself any extras, mate.
What did I do? Oh, and I managed to split squat something cool, like 250 on the Hatfield. That was cool. Anything else I've been up to that has been funky?
Is there any overzealous youngsters that have come into Bristol there, or the ones that pissed me off in pre-season?
Always. It's always the way. The food chain goes on. The circle of life continues as it does in pro rugby. You know it is. There's a few boys just throw themselves at you They used folks like full goo, like they're pilots at Pearl Harbor in 1940. But anyway, they've been good though. Like, there's some good talent coming through. I'm pretty pumped for them.
You got some new people coming as well?
Who's been cool?
Big Bill?
Big Bill Matter. It doesn't matter anymore. The man, the myth, Big Easy. He's just so skillful for a man of such huge size. He just makes everything look so smooth. Yeah, he's been a great lad. Obviously, he's had a little injury, a little setback, but we'll get him back out there in no time. Big Steel Barker from Carnish Pirates from York. I love
really?
I love Normaners. They've got a real kind of carpe diem about them, real zest for life. Good bastard. Yeah.
Really? So is that you're obviously taking the piss there because most of them are moany fucking.
No, but no, you get one or the other. Actually, that's entirely right. Some of them are a little bit cynical. It's true.
Yeah,
realists, they call themselves. But Steele's of the other sort of cut. Very good man. Any other big side? Who else is there? God, I'm already best mates with them. I'm trying to think. Sam Edwards from Leicester, good lad, very good lad. Young 9, good talent. Lovejoy Chawatama from Harlequins. He's a funny chap. I've locked horns with him a few times over the years. Irish Quins, good boy, very good boy. Jolly Giant talks a lot though, like Sir John Wafflewell. Those guys who love talking. Oh my god, great lad. But then there's obviously the voids of the personalities you miss. Obviously now I won't get locked into the sauna with Big Daddy Sinclair. Sadly, I'll miss the sessions in there, just being like Guantanamo Bay in that sauna with him. But
talking of saunas, Glasgow Warriors have now got a sauna.
Oh,
I have been in the office.
You've been hammering it.
They're like, why the fuck is Wilson here so much? They literally installed it like 2 weeks ago. I was the first person in it. The boys are like, Wilson, have you seen the sauna out the back? In a shipping container, very cool. Scotlanti sauna, little plug for them. Wouldn't mind one in the old back garden. And I've turned up and they're like, have you seen it? It's outside. Like, everyone's talking about it. They're like, we're not allowed to use it after training. I'm like, right, down to my pants, straight in there. That's the first one in. I was just hoping some of the boys came in like, what the fuck is Wilson doing in our sauna? Oh, so good. So good. I tell you what, though, things change, like you said, Max, very quickly. I go out there now, look at the squad. Fucking hell, there's been a whole haul. And we're going to talk about it in a minute, and we'll go on to sort of the ins and outs of the Premiership and the URC once we've covered some actual rugby. But looking at it, boys, I worry about rugby because when I started going through them earlier, the amount of ins compared to outs, mate, there's like 3 or 4 ins and there's like 15 to 20 outs at pretty much every club. And it just, you look at it going, everyone's having to shrink the squads down. It's tightening up a bit. The belts are tightening with the old fucking, financial crisis that everybody's in and cost of living, etc., etc. Yeah, it's scary, scary times for rugby. I think.
It's the Prem.
I think. Well, we'll see. URC is thriving, absolutely thriving. But I think we're going to get on some rugby, Mark, but unless we've missed anything.
No. Let's just a quick word though, Max. Looking ahead for your season, excited. You're feeling that you've got something to aim for. You guys are in a good shape.
Oh yes, I'm very, very positive about this season.
100 now.
I look forward very much to the coming contests with the many.
If you play Newcastle again and put 100 points on them and don't score at least a try, I'm going to be absolutely gutted this weekend. If I look on Sunday morning and I'm like, where is Leaf's name and it's not on the try list?
Look, we're
going to have words.
I'm not going to indulge this jinxery, all right? You keep your mouth shut.
Just before we get into rugby, Mark, have you got a hangover? Because all you do is just go on the piss over there.
Yeah, I do, sadly. But yeah, it was a family.
Do you like perpetually being hungover and pissed?
No, my parents did this. No, absolutely not. I'm a very good human being.
So even the parents are over. It's time to crack out the bubbly and get straight.
My parents listen to this.
No, it was a big day drinking rosé like it was Ribena yesterday at the Polo Club. It was very. It was a good day.
Fucking nutface Mark down the Polo Club on the rosé. How manly!
Right, let's move on to round it up because there's been some big results. We won't go into obviously all the matches, but Rugby Championship. We have seen some things. Start with the main one: South Africa, the undisputed masters of the universe. Are we going with that?
I think the last episode we had was me saying who is the big daddy, and it turns out it is the men of green and gold over down South Africa way. It was unanimous domination, wasn't it? There were some good games though, very competitive against the All Blacks. I thought there was a great contest. Shasha Feinberg Ngomazulu makes his appearance. Huge presence felt. And I'm excited to see where the young man's career goes in the Springbok shirt. But yeah, South Africa's depth is staggering. It's quite scary, actually. They even managed to find a lock from somewhere when they had a 5-lock crisis or something, and he was class as well. So the world's their oyster at this point. I can't see anyone else sort of competing with them in that regard in terms of just the depth of talent. But Ireland may have words to say about that after their last contest. South Africa are the daddies.
They are. And who have they got this weekend? Is it Argentina?
Yeah, and they're looking punchy.
Whoa, especially after the game at the weekend there. They are looking punchy, but surely not. Although they upset the All Blacks, I just think the All Blacks, I don't know. I've been pretty disappointed, eh? Will Robertson coming in, everyone was so excited. I know you've got to give him time.
Also, I feel like there's a lot of sort of crucial playmakers are being juggled. D-Max obviously started the game at 15. He's coming into 10. It's a bit of a change. I think him sticking with him is looking good. There's still a lot to be positive about, I think, for New Zealand. I think it would just be a bit of a kind of gelling.
And am I right in saying the game is in Argentina this week? South Africa travel to Argentina. So if there is going to be an upset, I think this is the only opportunity to see it. But I'd love to see Argentina do the job. Whether they can or not, I'm not sure. On another note, though, the Aussies, what the fuck? Capitulation or what? 20 points to 3 at 30 odd minutes. It was just going into half time. It was 20-10 to Australia. And the game ends 67-27. Oh my goodness! We've got some mates in there. Oh, Belly, did you see some of his feet in the game? He was doing bits, but you just look at it, and their defence by the end was fucking just completely not there. It was embarrassing at times, and you just think, what's old Schmitty doing? And then there's all the talk around. Or Lions tour coming up. I think it's only 7 months. How scary is that? 7 months till the Lions tour next year.
Didn't someone say just skip Australia or something? Didn't some pundit come out and say that?
Yeah,
I've seen that somewhere.
But it is sort of. You look at it and you go, hold on a minute. If Australia don't put if that happens to Australia come the Lions tour, and I don't think it will because it's a completely different kettle of fish, isn't it? It's on home turf against the Lions, they're going to bar up. But fucking hell, it will be really disappointing if you've got an Australia team firing like that against the Lions. I don't think it's going to happen. I reckon they're going to find a bit of form somewhere, but you do worry. You go, well, it's only every 4 years this happens, boys. So please, can you borrow some South Africans like Scotland did or do something? I don't know. Because I'm worried about that Lions tour. I am worried about that Lions tour.
And
or they just cherry pick all the NRL superstars.
They've got that guy coming in, haven't they? They've got that young kid on a massive contract who's they're making him the face.
Yeah, but you can't just keep swapping in. It's Nwanga Nitawase. He's gone over to NRL now. But this is the problem, isn't it? With the narrative in Australia, everyone's going, we're so far behind NRL, but. You look at Scotland, football's massive. Obviously, I'm not saying Scotland are the same sort of league.
Yeah, the two sports are completely comparable. Football and rugby in Scotland it's a bit different. Do you know what I mean?
don't know, is it? Because football is so big in Scotland.
Yeah,
Football is so big in
the athlete crossover is entirely sort of.
Yeah, no, I guess I know what you mean. You could, you can't actually cross the players over. But I'm just, just in terms of a narrative of rugby union, so I guess I know what you say. Like NRL, obviously, it's a similar sort of sport, but they've got to buck up their trends and get a few ideas going before the Lions head over there in 7 months' time.
Ryan, this will be. There was a very interesting article about sort of what's happened to Australian rugby, and I know we've talked about it quite a bit, and obviously the Eddie Jones absolute sort of fiasco scenario. But people forget that when your mate Dave Rennie was building something there. Like you always forget, like just at that time in that. Do you remember that tour? It was the autumn internationals. They lost to France by a point. They beat you guys. They beat Scotland. And in the previous rugby championship, they'd beaten South Africa, and they'd almost should have beaten New Zealand. You remember with the old Bernard Foley should have kicked it out. Took too long in that match. And from everything we were talking to with Taniela Tupou and everything, that he really cared, and they felt like they were building something. They've firebombed their own kind of options right now, no?
Yeah, you look at the squad. Like I was looking at some of those players in there as well, like Valentini's and, like you said, Taniela Tupou's. Some of the players in that backline. It's just mental that they've capitulated. But exactly like we said with Dave Rennie, just give Schmidty time. Give Schmidty time.
Also, he's got a very young squad. Like I think that's
exactly. That's the key now is don't get too far out of yourselves. Yeah, you've got a drumming at the weekend. You completely capitulated, but stick with Schmidty. Stick with Schmidty, as we say, because if you'd done the same with Renz, you could have been in a different place. But I would have liked to see a Dave Rennie.
Sorry, go on, mate.
I would have liked to see a Dave Rennie led team against the Lions. That would have been pretty. That would have been pretty special. What were you saying, Mark?
Have you guys? Can you think of a game where the similar things happened, where essentially, and obviously they didn't give up, but that's how it felt when you're watching it as a neutral. That the heart's not quite in it. Have you guys been in one of those everyone's had games like that. Everyone has games like that, but at international level, it's probably less done, and you can't afford to have games like that at international level. I don't think I've seen many internationals where it's been that bad in the last 25 minutes. It was pretty bad. So anyway, we've got very serious, very, very serious, haven't we? Straight off the bat. I mean, season 2 should be light-hearted, joyful. Okay, so the Wallabies fed to the Lions, and we're all happy as British people.
No. But on another note, Fiji are in the final of the PNC against Japan. Mick the fucking Kick is taking the Fijians over to Japan to do a job on Eddie Jones's men, and Fiji are going to win the PNC this weekend. Tosoviti! Yes, that's what we want to see. That's going to be good. I'm happy with that, and they've gone over there and done a job. They've beaten Samoa, beaten Tonga. I think they played USA or Canada.
USA in the semis, yeah.
And they've basically done it without their star players like Naivai Levu and some of the other guys that are over here at the moment. So it's impressive to see what he's done with, mainly the core of the Endura team. So it'll be an interesting one. Remember, he's coached Japan. He pretty much knows that Japan team inside out, some of the players in it. Can Fiji go and do it? I think they can. There's a positive note to finish on, eh? Round up our international rugby.
Fabulous, fabulous, fabulous. Right, Max, give me some piping hot takes on this big season for the Prem. Give me something outlandish. Put you on the spot.
I can't think of anything right now.
There you go. The Prem. There's just nowhere near the URC. I've got stuff could roll off the tongue for the URC. That's because I've had to prep for a media thing tomorrow. Well, Khaleesi's back, isn't he? No. Premiership, mate. Come on. I've been looking at some of the players. We mentioned him there. Weiss, Naivai level. You've got people like Wade. I'm excited to see him in Gloucester. Yeah. Christian Wade, Anscombe. I think Gloucester could be pretty dangerous this season with some of the recruitment they've made. I'm excited to see what they do because I don't know how were they? They didn't do very well last season in the league, did they? They did well in the Challenge Cup, but can Gloucester push a little bit further than they did last season? I reckon so. You've got Paresse. We're talking of Aussies back at Leicester Tigers, and then another Fijian, Ben Volavola, who's just signed there. Tigers. Talk to me about Tigers, Max. Like they've made some good old signings. They've got to be good. Are you up to date on it? Because I'll be honest, I've not followed a lot of rugby. For a bloke that's meant to be doing a rugby pod, sorry, I've not been following much rugby at all over the last 4 weeks because I wanted to switch off from it. But Tigers for me could be another one as well.
Yeah, the Tigers are going to be very strong this year. They've signed really well. I think Bath have probably held together most of their squad and added some unbelievable talent. Guys like Guy Pepper. So I think they're also going to be a real problem if they can build on the success they had last season. Who else could be naughty? I think Saints. Saints will still be very good. Like they had a very good young set of players coming through. Obviously.
Yeah, they've kept it consistent as well, haven't they? Like they're a team where you feel like they've kept it consistent. They've got a young squad. There's not been too many changes there. Obviously, Ludland's down in Toulon, but
big CEOs. But other than that, yeah, they're going to be very cohesive. They'll be class.
Okay, so here's the question then: if it's not Bristol, who's going to be pushing for top 4 this season? Then, shall I give you 2 of my guarantees?
I think I have a weird feeling that Exeter are going to be very good.
Oh, really? Because again, that's a team. Again, Exeter, not a team that have made many signings. I think they've like 2 or 3 ins and 10 or 15 outs at the moment.
I know, but they've got this like horrible group of young players that are just, there's no self-preservation. They're all very well drilled. I think they had enough like big scalps last season, and off of the back of the narrative that Rob Baxter was going to capitulate after losing all of the sort of the Premiership winning, the sort of Champion Cup winning squad that he had, and then he comes out with that team. We were pretty much a completely different story. So
you're putting Exeter in there, top 4?
They'd be my dark horse to be up there.
Okay. Gloucester are my dark horse to be up there, so we'll stick them in there.
Wow. And then it's probably
Sale and Tigers for me. Listen, Bristol are going to be in there, but Sale and Tigers for me. I think Sale. Something about.
I think Bath are definitely.
So you've just binned Bath and Sale last season, but
No, because I wouldn't have Max's choice in there. So I would go Northampton, Sale, Gloucester. Who else did I say?
Bears. But Bath.
Maybe. The Bath, maybe. Oh, it's interesting. And am I right saying there's promotion and relegation this season?
Mm-hmm. Oh, so spicy.
Max, please tell me you do know there's relegation.
Yeah.
Max Googling it. Is he actually Googling it right now?
In the training tomorrow. Yeah, boys. Anyone have any idea that
relegated? Did you know? Did anyone know that?
Relegation?
Yeah, but I like it. That's exciting. That is exciting. And mate, we're going off in tangents here, but I was watching Racing yesterday. Rugby North. The fucking centre that's playing outside Owen Farrell was from Ealing Trailfinders last year, starting for Racing at 12. I was like, whoa. When they brought him up on the comms on Premier Sport. I couldn't believe it. But Ealing Trailfinders, they're the ones that are pushing to try and get promoted, aren't they? Who else have we got? I mean, I don't really follow much of...
Doncaster are pretty loaded. They got some good players. Talisa Vianu.
Fucking Donny.
I saw him the other day when they came and played us. He's still cooking, bro. He's still out there.
Oh, interesting. Wow. Interesting.
I was like, Mesa, is that you? He's still in great nick.
Well,
old fella's looking good, bro. He's like telling me he's 30. I was like, bro, if you were 38 when I was playing with you, you're damn well 50 and you know it. Some boy.
Right, hold on. Let's just quickly pick a top 4 then for the Prem.
I ain't doing this though because it's jinxy, innit? But I'll do it.
It's fine. Let's have Bristol in there. Yes, Northampton definitely.
It's Bath, Bristol, Northampton, and Chiefs for me.
Right. Okay.
But Leicester. But you could interchange Leicester and Chiefs easy.
Let's go with that.
I have a feeling that Sale may. I don't know. Do Sale still have that kind of staying power of old? Will they be continuing to climb to the table? Potentially, but they're also in the mix. It'll be very congested. It's going to be competitive again. That's what I'm saying.
Relegation battle. Who's it between? Newcastle and?
Oh fuck,
mate! We've just written. By the way, we've not even mentioned Quins. We've not even talked about Quins. We're like, oh, Leicester won't be near.
See what I mean? The whole league is so competitive now. Like it's so hard to choose anyone. If Quins are on, they can beat everyone. If anyone's on, everyone's fair game. It's so hard to. I don't know if there's going to be like. Do you remember back in the days of yore when it was always the same teams at the top of the table? Nowadays, you have no idea.
We've not even mentioned Saracens either.
Oh my god, you still.
That's right. When you were like, Gloucester all the way, I'm like, okay.
No, okay, right. I'm gonna have. I hate to say it. Exeter and Newcastle battle off for the relegation. I'm going the opposite end to you. I reckon Exeter could be struggling this season. I just can't see the other teams not doing as well.
So Max thinks Exeter are going to be like challenging top 4. You're like relegation fodder. Good.
I think it's going to be like last season. It's going to be so similar to last season. It's going to be anyone's. It's going to be down to the last like 2 rounds for the top 4.
And that is the beauty of this podcast. Neither of us has a fucking clue. So
no, we do because that's what happened last season.
Yeah, well, yeah, but what I'm saying, yeah, we're the polar opposites, though. You're saying Exeter up the top, I'm saying Exeter down the bottom.
Yeah, that's the whole point.
We both agree that Newcastle could struggle?
Yes, we agree that Newcastle will probably struggle a little bit, yeah.
There you have it. They'll be playing this in their team meeting on Friday before they play.
Why are you doing that?
Right there.
Why you got to do that?
It's my fault. It's my fault. Blame it on me. How's Pat been, by the way? How's Big Pat been? Has he been all right?
Yeah, he's good, mate. He's in good spirits. Yeah, he's been class.
Just checking. I'm just checking. I just like pre-season. I used to hate pre-season.
Just checking. Ask how his boss is doing. You don't ask people at work how what you think of their bosses. Right. Let's move on to the URC.
Oh no! Before we go URC, we need to give a shout out to the one and only, the people that have kept us here from day one. They're with us again, boys. They are with us again. Wolf Craig are sticking with us this season. Season 2 is going to be bigger and better. We're going to go for less quantity and more quality because, believe it or not, we did 52 shows last season, which is absolute madness. Absolute madness. We've crammed a lot in. It was our first season 1, but season 2 is here, bigger and better. And Wolf Craig Distillers, of course, are with us again. They've been with us the whole time. You can scan this little link wherever it is down there, and it will take you over to the wonderful Wolf Craig website where you can join the Maul or Nothing pack and get yourself a few discounts on there. But thank you again to Wolf Craig Distillers. We love them, don't we? And we like a little bit of gin. We're going to be drinking a bit more gin, drinking a bit more whiskey. I'm really getting into it. You saw my reel from a couple of weekends ago when I was over in Isla. Beautiful place. Max, I'm going to take you over there.
You don't get into. You've got into it, bud.
Got into the old morning whiskey tasting.
Yeah, that's why I blamed my training being slightly worse. But they're with us, boys. Season 2. I'm looking forward to it. We're going to find loads of different things to do. And now we move into the URC. Mark?
Wolf Craig. How? Sorry.
I like that. Ooh. Wolf Craig. How? That should be there. Hold
on. Did you just see the wolf he just made? Show me.
How? The Wolf Craig, baby.
That is the Wolf Craig. That's so good. You can't do it with your crammed fingers, mate.
Look at your Jeremy Beadle claws. You're like Velociraptor. Look at you.
Mate, you can't say that. Can you, Jeremy Beadle? Oh, my God. Look at that, boys. That's a disgrace, isn't it?
We totally, by the way, glossed over last season when when Hugh Jones was interviewed about having hurt his finger. He's like, I don't want to end up like Wilson.
Look, lads, look at this one. This is it now.
Oh,
so it's pretty straight.
Yeah.
But if you look at the other one, now it's got like a weird amount of scar tissue up top. It's all hard.
Right. God, I bet people listening are loving this.
Like, for those listening, the boys are just fingering up. Right, let's go to the URC.
Showing you my digits.
Stop ditching the screen, guys. Let's talk. There's a lot going on. Some big moves as well. Some big moves going in. Talk us through Ryan Willisoni.
Ryan Willisoni is going to give you a quick recap of what is happening in the URC. You asked what big names are coming back, Max. First of all, everyone knows it. Geordie Barrett to Leinster. How exciting is that? I cannot wait to see that happen. I can't wait to be on comms. I'm going to be on comms on Friday night, Edinburgh versus Leinster for the opening game. So I don't think he's over yet. He's obviously going to finish whatever he's doing with New Zealand, but Geordie Barrett coming over to Leinster. Also, Slimani from Claremont.
Big Rabbi Slimani, yeah.
Fuck. And then the man that doesn't play, Schneemann. Jorge Schneemann. Fucking, whether he's going to do much for Leinster or not, but, I mean, he's getting paid. Will he play? That's the question we're all asking. So, looking forward to Leinster. Should we go to Glasgow quick? Because my old mate Haysto's back. Haysto is back. The URC champions, Glasgow Warriors, they got a target on their back. People will be coming for the mighty Glasgow Warriors. Oh, it's going to be good. Ulster first up next Saturday. Going to be on that one as well. Going to be on everyone's TV screens constantly. I'm sorry. But Haysto's back at Glasgow. Very weird when I'm in there just to see him. But it's like he never left. It's just like he's meant to be there. He's just wandering around and there he is again, our old mate Haysto. Moving on to Edinburgh, they need to do something this season because you look at the team sheet they have. It's fucking frightening. Darcy Graham played at the weekend there against Gloucester, got man of the match. He's backfiring. Duhan on the other wing with Buffelli at 15. Like that back three. Matt Scott has re-signed for Edinburgh. He's in the centre with Sione Tuipulotu's brother, Mosese Tuipulotu. How good is that 1872 Cup going to be? Oh my God, those two going at it, trying to fight for a Scotland jersey in the same position. Apparently they used to beat the shit out of each other when they were kids. So we'll have to do an episode where we get the Tuipulotu brothers on. Who else? Oh, here's a good one. Sheedy to Cardiff, Max. Is he going to do a good job?
I think so. I think Daniel Thomas down to Cardiff as well. I think Cardiff have a strong team. But Burns down there as well. Ed Byrne from Leinster. And they've made some canny signings. I think they'll be very competitive.
And then the last one, we saw Quins go over there and play Benetton. And listen, we called them the dark horse last season. They fought it out. They did bloody well. They're going to be pushing for it again. Our old mate from Quins, Louis Liner, he's over there now. And what's exciting for the first time ever, and I know you're so behind the times, but mate, how crazy is this? They're going to be the first team in the URC to have their names on the back of the shirts. That's fucking crazy, isn't it? Why is everyone in the URC not doing that? It's such a small detail. But
people notice that because in the Prem, you always have your name on your shirt. Yeah.
Yeah. So Benetton, and listen to this. Benetton, as well as having their names on the back of shirts, have an NFC chip in their shirt. So when you're up close with the players, you can scan it with your phone and it dings up on your phone and gives you videos from like the week of what's been happening in camp. How cool is that? That's pretty cool, eh?
That is very
cool. We like that. More NFC chips in shirts. That is forward thinking. Molto bene. And then lastly, let's just quickly touch on it. You can't go away from it. We spoke about Esterhazen back to the Sharks. Oh, and Kanye, we like that. It's a thumbs up. But Sia Khaleesi, boys, he's coming home. Racing owner called him fat and unfit. He's fucking tearing it up in the Rugby Championship. And he's back where he belongs, back at the Sharks. Midas touch. Literally the king of rugby, between him and DuPont. But exciting to have big Sia Khaleesi back in the URC, back where he belongs at the Sharks. I think the Sharks are going to be pushing this season. They obviously pushed it all the way in the Challenge Cup last season. It's exciting to see. Champions Cup and URC, I think they could be a dangerous team this year. I'm looking forward to seeing how they go. Oh, what a fucking roundup!
So Sharks are your champs this year?
No. Glasgow Warriors are the champs.
Runner-up to
back to back, yeah.
And Glasgow have got Sharks over there pretty early on. I think 3 or 4 games into the season, Glasgow have got to go down to Sharks, play the Stormers and the Sharks. Oh, what a trip. Wilson's going to try and get himself on that one.
Max, how do we feel about Ryan Wilson being now the eminent UK broadcaster, now that Premier Sports have taken over not just the URC, but the Top 14 and the Heineken Cup, the Champions Cup? We can't get enough Wilson, right?
I don't know how it's happened.
Fucking me neither.
How have you done this? You're like a cat.
Oi, how exciting. I am finally going to be commentating on Max's games. Oh, yeah. I'll be doing punditry for Bath, potentially. For Bath Bristol. Is it Bath Bristol?
The one that...
Is there a Bath Bristol? No, I've got that wrong. For the Champions Cup.
Champions Cup we have La Rochelle, Leinster at home. Oh, indeed.
La Rochelle and Leinster.
We've got some group.
Oh, my goodness.
We've got big Claremont away as well.
Yeah, but what some lovely trips. But yeah, how exciting that I could be doing punditry and commentating on my old mate Max's game. I can't wait. I am going to talk you up a storm.
Keep it very professional, Ryan.
I will. Oh, boys, imagine like the little walk and talks and stuff.
Yeah.
Mate, stay well away from. I don't want to.
I love that. I'll just grab one of the players. This guy, Max Leave. Hello.
Oh, that is so exciting. It is big news though. Premier Sports getting the Champions Cup. I'm looking forward to it, boys. I'm going to be on your TV screens a lot this year. That's if I don't get something else.
Look at that. Look how he started the show a bit like, I don't want to.
It's not happening. It's not. You know me. I like to build it up to then really crash down.
Right, what happened?
No. Let's. I don't like you said about jinxing it. We'll talk about it next week once things are completely dust.
But most likely, you're thinking it's dust.
I'm 95% sure it's dust.
Okay, fine.
But it would have been wonderful. It would have been wonderful. So let's chat about it next week.
It's still alive. It's Schrodinger's cat. It's still there. It's alive. It's happening. It is both happening and not happening at exactly the same time right now.
Yeah. Well, okay. Well, let's wait and see. Now, what we need also from our followers, we need them to like and subscribe and do all the things that we tell them to do normally. But we want them to throw us some of their ideas this season. We want them to give us some little segments that they might like. We've actually got a new email address. Mark, please tell me you remember what it is whilst I talk, because it is
info@maulornothing.com.
And someone is actually going to answer these emails because I was in charge of the last email box, and I went the other day to have a look in there. There was a lot of shit in there. There's a lot of like junk. Yeah, but there was so much stuff and we missed it all. So apologies to everyone that emailed in last season. It was my fault. I know. But this season, this operation is going to be run so much smoother, much more professional.
For that.
Exactly. So make sure you ping us some emails, some ideas that you've got. We're going to do a couple different segments this season. We've obviously got the autumn tests coming up. We've got a huge Six Nations. It's going to be an exciting season. So like, subscribe, comment below, give us your normal shit. The bloke that always calls in Bargain Bin Payno, reach out.
Abuse.
Reach out and reach around to Bargain Bin Payno. You know, I was at the Bula Festival. Did I tell you about this last season? And the guy came up. I don't think I've spoken about it. Oh,
you did. You mentioned it. Sorry, you did mention it. You have. We did it in our summer little break one.
Right, okay. Well, to that guy, there is a stack of books over there. And after this is finished, I'm going to go find you your portrait of Mark naked in the Mandarin Oriental that I drew. I will find it. I will send it out to confirm that we are going to be more professional this season. Max, what are you wanting to get out of season 2? Come on. What are you wanting to get out of season 2?
What do I want to get out of? Man, No, I just want to chew the cud. Chew the cud of hypotheticals with my boys. Talk all things rugby and all the other oddities that are living in this strange, strange world.
I want more of our like Champions Cup day.
That's a great.
That's what I want. I just want more of those.
That was great. That was very, very fun. I think, a couple more of those would be also
perfect.
Quite nice.
Perfect. Well, if we can, hey guys, also if we can trying to wrangle a couple of things, get us to go to this England Ireland game. If it can happen, it might be the coolest thing we've ever done.
Do you think that the listeners actually enjoy us going out and about? It's like day trips. We're like children though when we go on day trips, and we just end up getting so excited that we just all get so drunk. Mark ends up in bins, and we just end up having a good time, and no one really finds out too much about it. So we need to get more day trips in the bank. But I think we've just got to be a bit more professional. Or do you reckon the listeners enjoy us being absolute reprobates when we're out together?
A bit of
more access to reprobatage though.
Yeah, people like that. We went for an entire day at the final of the Champions Cup and got 8 minutes of footage. But we had a great time.
Right, to wrap up the URC then, we have to, so I'm going to go top 4. Leinster in there. They just haven't had to make many changes. They've got a pretty solid squad, haven't they? I think they've made literally 3 signings. 3 signings, that's all they've needed to make. Leinster will be up there. Glasgow, of course, are going to be pushing top 4 again. Sharks will be in there. Oh, another one, Max. Another one.
I'm going to go Bulls.
The Bulls. The Buller. Let's chuck them in there. They did pretty well last season, right up until Glasgow came and knocked them off their perch in front of 65,000 in Pretoria.
Yeah, they're going to be coming with horrible, horrible vengeance in their hearts.
There we go. There you have it. 1 Scottish, 2 South African, 1 Irish. No relegation, but who's going to be down the bottom? Oh, my goodness. You can't look much further than poor old Zebre. Vaffanculo, destere cazzo.
Good. So we get banned even on the Italian YouTube. Brilliant. That's okay. So that's our roundup. A couple of little bits and pieces I just wanted to bring up with you guys. Get your thoughts. Firstly, with England, Max, what the fuck is going on in the England cap? Let's talk the Felix Jones leaving scenario. I know it happened a few weeks back, but he left with no job lined up. Apparently, I mean, he might have, had another thing behind the scenes, but that's not a great advert, is it? For
give us the inside scoop, Max. Basically, go.
Lads, I did try to drop some probes out there, but no one. It was a tight-lit operation. Whatever's happened, though, yeah, I don't know. It's potentially controversial, but I can't talk out of any kind of factual knowledge, unfortunately. What have you got, Rye? Do you know something?
No. But I got. Listen, I'll give you the scoop on Scottish rugby, but you are my RFU Maul.
Genuinely tried. And got nothing. They were like, "No, not you. You've got a podcast. We're not telling you anything."
He's here.
Yeah. By the way, do you sometimes feel that people are like, "Oh, be careful what you say around him because he's on the podcast"?
100%. Glad we drop it on here. Absolutely.
I usually have to start like
brand.
I usually have to start conversations like, "Listen, boys, this is strictly between us."
It's off the record.
Off the record.
I'm not a journo. You're a journo.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, all right, genuinely got nothing on that. But the other bits you put in there, Mark. The other rumors are those true?
No, I just came. Sorry, for those of you.
Amazing.
to bring people up with.
Come on,
thought it was true. I just wrote up a sort of little sheet for the boys to have a quick look, and one of them was to outlandish reasons why Steve Borthwick has made it hellish in the England camp, but just as a sort of example of stuff that you could come up with. And I can't believe you thought that this might be real, but I said he forces all players, coaches, and admin staff to call each other by their mother's names.
Yeah, I was reading that, wondering what was going on there. And I was like,
you heard something, so I was like, this can't be true, can it?
Did you write this when you were drunk last night, Mark? Because that is a pretty strange.
Right, I know you know something.
No, I don't. I genuinely don't. I've heard that he is full on. But you've got to be an international coach with the absolute buckets of cash that he's getting thrown. He's got to be full on, and he's got to be. But I think by the sounds of it, there were a few coaches getting a little bit fed up with how much work they were having to do, and it was like never switching off. But I don't know. Will this whole new thing with 25 is it centralized contracts? Is that what they're called? I'm not sure what they're called, Max. You'll know more about it.
Yeah, centralized contracts. Yeah.
Is this gonna throw a spanner in the works? Like, what does that do to like English rugby? Because from what I gather, they will top up 25 salaries, right, across all the players. The match fee for poor England is going down from 25 grand to 18.5. Oh, is that it? £18,500 to play for your country, but those 25 players will get a consistent top up, so they will be their core players, right?
Yeah, they're the sort of chosen elite. Yeah,
but then, so you're telling me that then. Name an England player in your team, like Genge, for example.
Yeah.
Will he be one of them? I guess, yes. So then Pat doesn't have the full control over him anymore. England do.
Yeah, that's a great shout. And then obviously clubs are still throwing rather large cheddar at these individuals.
Yeah.
But they won't get what they need from. Yeah, but the fact that the season's changed around now, isn't it? Like, they're not losing them out for Six Nations, really. They don't lose them for that many games now, do they?
No, but I'm guessing that they'll want to take him out before camps. They'll maybe, let's say he's picked up an injury, but Pat, I'm not saying they would play him if they're injured, but like push him because they've got one game left for Bristol before they break up for Six Nations. You'll have people like Borthwick coming in going, listen, we need him to be rested this week because we want to use him in camp. It's going to cause a little bit.
Imagine that conversation between Steve Borthwick and Pat going, you can't play him.
Yeah. Max will be happy.
Max, yeah. Yeah.
Beat me up, boss. No, I don't know. I don't really know the ins and outs of that. Yeah, but you're right. Politically, it looks like it's fraught with peril. Could be fun. Could be spicy. Whoa.
I love how we've pretty much got someone in the inside in the Premiership.
And I'm commenting on the inside.
He literally knows more about some bloke in Senegal who's wrestling and pouring pigeon poo over his face before he fights.
No, it wasn't pigeon poo. It was blessed milk.
That looks good though, Max. I'm looking forward to getting balls deep into the what is it called? Lamb. How was that, Max? Was it good fun?
Mate, it was an adventure. I'll give you that right. It's a fascinating place, huge culture, very friendly. It was wonderful.
Boys. Well, it's been good to be back together. I don't know where we're going, if we've got any more to chat about, but I think we've done pretty well to keep that to an hour, boys. I'm just happy we're back. This is it. Season 2. Bigger and better, as they say.
Wait, if you... Mark, if you want some spicy info, just I'll go hunting for it. I just need a little bit of a briefing.
Oh, there we have it. We have a man on the inside. We will send you a...
Bro, I'll go full Edward Snowden on this bitch.
Yes, that's what we want. Right, again, DM us, email us, do what you want.
Also, any other juicy gossip you have.
If you've heard something, guys, send it in.
Yeah, we will arbitrate effectively for you.
We'll treat it confidentially.
I know, and what we can do is we can read out that gossip and we can confirm whether it is true or false.
And if you want to, you can
God.
just chop and change the names. You can change the dates, the
Give
places.
us that goss. Give us that goss. info@maulournothing.com. Send us an email or DM us on Instagram. And if you don't subscribe to us yet, head to our YouTube channel at Maul or Nothing as well. There, you can see it. For those watching it on YouTube, subscribe. For those listening, it's at Maul or Nothing on youtube.com.
And any of you fuckers listening on here or watching, go and follow the Instagram page, because we are a ball hair off of a 10K. We're nearly at 10K. I'm going to celebrate. We're going to do something special for 10K. Knock it over the 10K mark. If you're listening, if you're watching, go and follow us on Instagram. Bloody all the plugs. There we go. Listen, my golf clubs are over there. They're waiting. I'm a golf wank. Who knew Max was good at golf?
Is he good at golf?
Oh, I'm terrible.
Accidentally good at golf after about 6 holes. It's all to do with swinging a rope. I'm telling you, I reckon that has given you a rhythm in golf.
Mark, I was god awful, but there were times where I surprised everyone, and Tom was not happy about it. Big Tom Staltman was raging, but very, very introspectively. But you could see it trying to get out of his visage. It was quite funny. But anyway, he takes his golf very seriously. I don't want to get in between him and a win, but that's what happened anyway.
Well, brilliant. Well, that's going to be a great episode to look forward to as well. But sadly, that is all the time we've got left for this week. Huge thank you to Ryan and Max, as always. And huge thank you to you all for listening, for liking, for subscribing, for being part of our continued adventure on season 2 of Maul or Nothing. Plenty more coming. We will see you all again next week.
Yes, it's working.
Maul or Nothing.
You ruined it.
No, it's fine. Just keep going. Max, try again.
No, it doesn't work. Look.
No, because we're not on the iPhone.
He's not too far.
Right there. 3, 2, 1, go. Keep going. Keep going. We're going to get this. Yes. Mark, you're the odd one out. Loser. No, back a bit. Back a bit. You need to go back a bit. Okay. This is going in there. By the way, for next week, yeah, we're still recording. These are the lovely little bits they get at the end. Next week, we want to have a little visit, a little tour around your flat, Mark. That's what I think we should do next week. Anyway, let's close it off.
Bye.
Kisses.